Hello ladies and gents, Romie Reviews here. Please like, comment, subscribe. This is my review for Greenleaf Season 3, Episode 9. Runaway Train. That analogy was something else, but that's Bishop for you. So the episode, it actually starts off a little weird. One of the things that happens first has to do with Grace and Bishop. Because remember, Bishop doesn't have Lady May to go and do the, I guess you can say, the first lady duties that is normally handled by her. Anything having to do with the appearance of the church, just setting up the church, really, and which is a huge responsibility. So now he's trying to do it all himself, and Grace was saying, you need help. Now, I wasn't sure if she was saying that, Dad, I'll help you, or if she was just saying you need to get someone to counsel you when it comes to these things. But Bishop, this is a very Bishop-specific episode. We saw that Lady May a couple episodes back had her day as far as the episode being all centered around her. So this was really a Bishop episode because I'm looking and seeing it's like everything involved Bishop at some point. Bishop does talk to his friend Percy about the divorce, and Bishop, he's talking as if he has second thoughts. It's as if he's having regrets at this point. And all of us are looking at him like, dude, you're the same guy who went and fooled around with this other woman, and your wife knows, and so now she officially wants a divorce, but now you want us to feel like, oh, but poor Bishop, you sent her the divorce papers, you mentioned the divorce first. Come on now, Bishop. Bishop also is talking, actually I'll skip ahead a little bit. Bishop talked to Grace as well regarding Rochelle and how she does not trust Rochelle. She does not know why Rochelle is doing what she's doing. She asked Bishop, did you invest the money? How much of it is it? And what is it in? And he didn't want to answer. So that made her feel weird. And because that made her feel weird, she gave him that look of, really? And because of that look, he was like, I don't need this from someone who's taking money from her for your own initiative. If you don't trust her, why would you take money from her? The thing is that she is the type of person that has connections, and that's who Grace needs to work with right now. Grace said she doesn't trust her. That's why she's working with her. She's trying to find an angle. And I said, Bishop didn't like that. So he had to go and storm out. So that was the majority of their communication back and forth today. Bishop also talked to Charity, and the initial conversation was very brief, and it was through eyes, because Bishop was, he was in his house, and, well, for now, in this house, he saw his daughter Charity looking still a little bit out of it, but better than I guess she's been in a while, on the couch. And her child was there, and Kevin was there, Aaron was there, and Charity looked she looked happy at first, because Bishop was greeting everyone. She seemed okay, and then things took a turn once she really started to look at Aaron and Kevin interact with her child. I said, oh Lord, Charity, you're just gonna have to get over this. Unfortunately, you're just gonna have to get over this. And that the same rule applies to Aaron talking to Bishop. I know a lot of us forgot, but Aaron's father, he is very traditionally religious in the sense where his son being gay, that's a no-no. They didn't have communication after that. But they're starting to talk at least a little bit, because Aaron lets it be known that his father has pancreatic cancer. I think his father's name was Lionel or something. So, and Lionel was calling Bishop multiple times, but he didn't pick up, because Bishop's still pissed that my best friend slept with my wife at some point in our marriage. And for a while, we were convinced that, oh Lord, that Lady May actually have Lionel's baby and those Grace. We were trying to figure that out. We were trying to figure out why she did not like Grace, but she's jealous of Grace. That's the real reason why she doesn't like Grace. Let's see. Still going along with Bishop, because he's still in the house, he talks to Sophia. And Sophia is, of course, she's receptive to talking to her grandfather. And she still has that respect for him, unlike Zora, to where even though she's thinking certain things, she wants to communicate certain things, she's not going to do that to him. He's saying he wants her to come to church, come back to church, or at the very least, come to his jubilee ceremony, and she doesn't really want to go. She really doesn't want to go. But originally she said no, she doesn't want to go, and then it turned into a maybe. And he was just, saying, because their conversation was different. I guess because their relationship is different, she felt more open to being honest with him about how she really feels about everything. She's upset that this happened to her. And he said, I know where you're coming from because I know it's not the same. I'm not comparing the two, but remember, he has Parkinson's. That's a lot of the reason why he looks flustered and his hands shake every once in a while when he's super stressed or didn't take his medication. And so he understands how it feels to feel sick and be angry at the world as you get older because things happening. But he's like, look, he's able to rest his burdens on God. Unfortunately, right now, she's not able to do so. So he's like, at the very least, at least come to my jubilee and maybe you'll get something out of it. I'll have a special sermon for you. And so she was like, I'll think about it. She actually ends up going because I have a feeling I may forget to mention that. And actually, I want to bundle all of that together. So after the service, after all of that, he calls her into his office. He has her sit in his chair. And he tells her this story about the runaway train. And so imagine her as a passenger, as a young girl on this train. And the train represents the world. She's in the part of the world, the safe space that her parents have created. And it's beautiful and it's wonderful until it's not. Until she goes and she wants to talk to the conductor. And the conductor is supposed to be God. And so she's going through each cabin, each cart, and she's just seeing things and she's hearing things, and it's really causing her to feel a certain way about the world. And so then he says, once you get to the conductor is crying because the conductor understands and the conductor knows that she she's seen what she's seen. The conductor feels everything she's feeling and what everyone else is feeling. And the conductor is just like, I know back there is hard, difficult. You'll experience things you never experienced. But again, that's a good representation of the world. It's a good representation of the world. It's a good representation of things are going to happen to you and there really is no explanation. Things are happening to you really just because you're alive and you happen to be you. You can pray and you can pray and you can pray and you will be protected from things that you didn't even realize was happening. But then there'll be other things around you that'll throw you for a loop, that'll anger you because, again, why me? I don't deserve this. I do what I'm supposed to do. And the only explanation is it's because you're a part of the world, and you either still accept that and you still give God thanks for being alive and you move forward, or you don't. The problem is little Sophia isn't there yet. Little Sophia is more so on the tip of she loves the Lord, she loves God. Her problem is she just feels like the world is a little too, this is her trials and tribulations. I fully believe that maybe she'll have the awakening that her mother had, that Grace had, of she had to go away for a while and find herself. But when she eventually finds herself, she'll be a really good person, or she'll know what her true purpose is. But the only thing I didn't like about that story was it was real and it was honest. So I respect him for saying that. I just don't know how helpful it was because it was essentially saying what she already knew and just kind of made her more upset. But sometimes reality will do that to you. Sometimes. Bishop, he goes to, and Bishop actually asks Percy multiple times throughout the day, for advice because it's his old friend who actually trusts. Percy tells him you need to go and reconnect with your friend being Lionel, because if he's going to die soon, which is essentially what it sounds like, he's in the home, nursing home at this point. If he's going to die soon, you want to make amends. You want the opportunity to make amends. So go and do that. Percy also apparently pays for puss. Percy pays for female entertainment. And I looked at him like, oh, really? Remember to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe and come back. Oh, really? Yeah, I guess Percy, he is definitely interested in the younger woman, which there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that he pays for it. Instead of courting, having to go and play the funk, he just goes and pays for it. He hires prostitutes. And Bishop came home one night and was like, oh. And she was like, oh, I'm leaving. And, clearly these aren't the, cheaper ladies, because I said she was relatively well dressed and she definitely looked good. I was like, dang, Bishop, stop looking at her like that. Oh, you're going to be divorced soon. Okay, look a little bit more. Stop it. Look a little bit more. Stop it. Stop it. Anywho, Percy actually talked to Bishop, and remember, Grace was in Bishop's ear. Lady May has always been in Bishop's ear about Rochelle. And one of the things that happens is Percy tells Bishop straight up, tells him, why is Rochelle interested in you? Why is someone who's young and beautiful and successful interested in you? And it wasn't in a demeaning way. It was more so in a, why is she coming out of the blue, out of nowhere, and she wants you? All of her focus is on you. He was trying to say that you need to watch your back. This makes no sense. He understands. Because like Bishop's sickly, Bishop's this is that. So then Bishop actually confronts Rochelle and asks Rochelle, why do you want me? Why are you interested in me? And Rochelle, she acted her butt off. She sure did. She went and did that whole, how dare you? How dare you go and insinuate that, I'm using you? I'm the one that came to you with all the answers. I'm the one that's helping your daughter. This family is full of snakes. You're calling other people snakes, but all of y'all the serpents, and I'm tired of you. And it's like, I'm sorry. It's like, take out your phone. Open up that app that I showed you. And apparently it was a whole lot of money. Now, my question is, was that money from Jacob's church, Triumph? Was that the money? Because I'm trying to think, funneling this money, if you're going to do some type of fraud mess, how is this going to make sense? Is the app that she showed him, is it fake? Is it a fake app that, like I said, is showing a combination of Bishop's money and Jacob's money? Because that would be a nice twist. But there was a lot of money in there. Bishop felt really bad. She was like, no, I'm going to go. But nope, Bishop stopped her. And so now it looks like, her plan is working. Because at first she had that tear down, and then she had that evil glare in her eye like, got him. So let's see. We talked about, Jacob. I forgot to talk about Jacob and Bishop. Bishop went to go and visit his son. Carissa, she's still dealing with the fact that her daughter is gone, that her baby's gone. And she doesn't want to deal with Jacob right now because she still partially blames him for aiding in this. But most importantly, I'm sure she blames herself, and she just can't deal with anyone right now. And I thought it was interesting that Bishop did bring up that, so what's going on with you and Miss Skanks? And they're like, what? What are you referring to? When I went to your church, to your office in that church, and it looked like you were having a conversation with her, and it just looked kind of, Jacob says, no, I am not, Carissa isn't upset at me because of anything like that. No, I've learned my lesson. Bishop said, oh, okay. Okay. After all of that, Charity and Bishop talked. And I like the fact that Charity and Bishop talked about the fact that Charity she's a little jealous. She's a little jealous. She's a little envious. And it's not just because of Kevin and Aaron. Apparently they're going to be moving in. They are talking about marriage. And Bishop was like, oh, isn't that kind of too soon? I thought Bishop was going to say something else like marriage. What? How are they too? But he said, no, isn't that too soon? She said, I know, right? But most importantly, everyone seems to be having their happy ending. Bishop said, everyone? You see what's going on with me? You said, but I like that he had this father-daughter moment with Charity, and he talked about how, the stuff that's going on with your mom and I, and just with life in general. You know what the bright spots are in my life? Whenever I go and, hear you singing, whenever I turn on TV and Jacob is on there, whenever I look in the newspaper, and so he plays Cherry's album, he watches Jacob's sermons, and he sees Gigi. He's like, as rambunctious as she can be, she is really doing good work, over there at the jail. It's my children and also the woman who helped nurture those children. That's what I'm proud of. I'm thinking, Lord Bishop, we know you don't want to get a divorce from Lady Mae, but this is what needs to happen. See, that's what happens when you're a little too impulsive. The Jubilee, we'll just jump to the Jubilee. So the Jubilee occurs, and the Jubilee was cool. The Jubilee, Charity was singing with Bishop. I said, oh, look at this. This is nice. This is nice. I'm like, Bishop, come on. Lip sync a little better. But this is nice. And while that was happening, Bishop did his sermon, and the sermon was nice. And Gigi, before the sermon began, she went and talked about how, she loves her father. Sometimes he can be misguided, but at the end of the day, he's a great man. Or no, sometimes he can be very trusting and blindly trusting. And Rochelle Cross was in that, was sitting right next to Sophie. And when Bishop went to go and hug Gigi, he said, oh, I know you don't like Miss Cross, but and she's like, okay, Daddy, whatever. He loves his church. He's happy to be a part of the church. He loves his family. He loves Lady Mae. And regardless of what happens, they're still going to be together. They're still going to work it out. As in for the church's sake. I mean, come on now. What else happened? What else happened? Oh, dang, did I talk about everything? Oh, no. Bishop, when he goes to visit Lionel, because Bishop does decide to go, he goes to visit Lionel, and Lionel is in this nice, upscale home, like nursing home. I said, oh, this is nice. This is nice. This is better than most people's apartments. But that's not the point. The point is, Bishop sees this woman who we find out later, she's a daughter. She had to, and she was crying. Bishop sat next to her, and her father is there in the home. I don't think he wants to be there, or maybe it's more so she just feels guilty that she had to put him in the home because she has children. She has responsibilities. She can't take care of him the way that he needs to be taken care of. And she just feels guilty. She's putting him away. And, I actually kind of respected the fact that she said that, because I'm sure we know a lot of people who can't wait to just throw their parents or older people in, in like a nursing home and forget about them, or have someone else take care of them, period, and not do anything for them. Some of their parents were crazy and cuckoo, so I can understand that, but there's just some people sometimes who can be very selfish, and it's like, even if you can't take care of them, they can't live with you, you can't forget about them. You can't forget about them. That's completely different. And so Bishop, he said he wanted to pray for her. He said, God, keep her family. Amen. I said, wait, what? Where's the rest of it? Did you forget your lines? What's going on? And his whole thing was that she's doing the right thing. She's doing what she needs to do, because if she goes and actually takes care of her father, she can't fully take care of her children or her family or do her job. And then it's going to be a domino effect. Everywhere she's going to fail because she's going to try and do for everyone in every fashion. She's one person. So I'm glad that that message was put out there. So now Bishop goes and he meets up with Lionel. And Bishop essentially, Lionel's just like, look, man, I know it's your close friend, your best friend, and that happened. And Bishop's like, yeah, I never expected anything like that from you. I understand I was doing some mess, but this is separate and different. But Bishop ends up saying he forgives his friend, but this is the last time they're going to see each other. I said, dang. But you know what? That's real. Because Lionel said he's sorry for everything he did and what, that caused. And Bishop forgave him, but that's the end of their friendship. And I respect that because Bishop, being a bishop, I would have looked at him sideways if he didn't forgive his friend. The show actually ends with so Sophia gives back the Bible that Bishop gave her, because she already said that she wanted to give back the Bible. After that sermon and after what he said, which clearly didn't do much of anything for her, probably just hurt her a little bit more, she gave back that Bible. And Bishop got the papers from his assistant, the divorce papers. He still had them from earlier in the episode. He decided to sign them because he understands that even if he doesn't want to get divorced, really, May does. And that's all that matters. So he signs. He takes it to her office. She looks at it and he said, whatever you want to do, I'll support you. And she goes, opens that up, has a tear in her eye. He has tears in his eyes. And she signs it and gives it right back to him. And essentially like, thank you. That's the last thing Bishop wanted. Bishop went and gave it back to his assistant and said, please send this to the lawyer. And that was pretty much it. So, like I said, do you guys think Bishop has Jacob's money and no one even realizes it yet? Because it looks like something is going to get out. And I don't know if it's going to... I just hope that this whole thing doesn't just crash and burn. That would be terrible. So that's it. Please like, comment, subscribe. Come back next week. Remember to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe and come back.